Turn up the volume. Obiora Namdi stood in his private office on the 52nd floor of Namdi Global Tower, Lagos Island. His assistant fumbled with the remote. On the massive television screen, a woman in an elegant navy blazer sat across from a CNN international reporter, poised, confident, successful. Obiora's hand froze halfway to his glass of whiskey. The reporter smiled. Dr. Amara Obi, you've just been named one of Africa's top 50 most influential women in tech. Your AI healthcare platform has saved over 2 million lives across 15 countries. Tell us, how does a single mother build an empire from nothing? The woman smiled. A smile Obiora had once known intimately. You do it one day at a time. You survive. And you never let anyone convince you that you're not enough. Obiora's glass slipped from his fingers and shattered on the marble floor. Because that woman on the screen, that wasn't just any success story. That was his wife. The wife he had thrown out his house 10 years ago, 7 months pregnant, with nothing but the clothes on her back. The wife he had told, "You're worthless. You'll never be anything without me." But his life was going to change today. Before continuing, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next stories. Obiora stumbled backward, gripping the edge of his desk. His assistant rushed forward. "Sir, are you all right?" He couldn't speak. His chest felt tight. His vision blurred. On the screen, Amara continued. "People ask me how I overcame poverty, rejection, homelessness. I tell them, pain is the greatest teacher. Someone once told me I was nothing. I built my life proving them wrong." The reporter leaned forward. "There are rumors about your past, about a previous marriage. Care to comment?" Amara's smile didn't falter, but something cold flickered in her eyes. "That chapter is closed. I don't live in the past. I build the future." Obiora sank into his chair. His hands were shaking. 10 years. 10 years since he had kicked her out. 10 years since he had seen her face. And now she was on international television. A doctor, a tech CEO, a force. While he was still here, alone in his tower. Rich, powerful, empty. His assistant cleared his throat. "Sir, shall I call the doctor?" Obiora shook his head slowly. "No. Get me everything. Every article, every interview, every piece of information about Dr. Amara Obi. I want it on my desk in 1 hour." "Yes, sir." The assistant left. Obiora sat in silence, staring at the screen as the interview ended and Amara's face faded to a commercial. He picked up his phone with trembling fingers and opened his contacts. Her number was still there. He had never deleted it. He stared at it for a long moment. Then he typed a message. "I saw you on TV. We need to talk." His finger hovered over send, but he didn't press it, because 10 years ago, he had said things that couldn't be unsaid, done things that couldn't be undone. And now, the woman he had destroyed had risen from the ashes. Without him, despite him, Obiora stood and walked to floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Lagos. The city sprawled below, millions of lights, millions of lives. Somewhere out there was Amara, and somewhere out there was a child. His child. A child he had never met. His phone buzzed. A news alert. Dr. Amara Obi to receive Presidential Award for Innovation next week in Abuja. He stared at the headline. Then, slowly, he opened his laptop and booked a flight. He didn't know what he would say. Didn't know if she would even see him. But he had to try. Because seeing her on that screen had awakened something he thought was dead. Regret. 1 hour later, his assistant returned with a thick folder. Obiora opened it, and his world tilted again. Inside, newspaper clippings, magazine profiles, photos. Amara receiving awards. Amara speaking at conferences. Amara shaking hands with presidents and tech billionaires. And then, a photo that made his breath catch. Amara standing beside a young boy, maybe 9 years old. Same sharp jawline. Same deep-set eyes. His son. The caption read, Dr. Amara Obi with her son, Chinedu, at the launch of MedTech Africa Initiative. Obiora traced the boy's face with his finger. Chinedu. She had named him Chinedu. God leads. He had a son who didn't know he existed. A son he had rejected before birth. Obiora closed the folder and pressed his palms against his eyes. For the first time in 10 years, Obiora Namdi, the man who controlled boardrooms, crushed competitors, built empires, felt something he had never allowed himself to feel. Shame. But shame, he would soon discover, was only the beginning. Because Amara wasn't just a success story. She was a weapon, and she had been waiting 10 years for him to find her. The next morning, Obiora's private jet touched down in Abuja. He checked into the Trancorp Hilton under a false name. He couldn't risk the media catching wind of this. The presidential award ceremony was in 3 days. He had 3 days to figure out how to approach her. But Amara, it turned out, was always one step ahead. That evening, as Obiora sat in his hotel suite reviewing notes, his phone rang. Unknown number. He answered cautiously. Yes. A woman's voice. Smooth, professional, familiar. Hello, Obiora. His heart stopped. Amara, I heard you were in Abuja. Small world. He sat up straight. How did you? I have friends in many places now. You're not the only one with resources. Silence stretched between them. 10 years of silence compressed into seconds. I'd like to see you, he finally said. I know. That's why I'm calling. Her voice was calm. Too calm. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., the National Mosque Gardens. Come alone. Amara, Don't be late. Obiora, I don't wait for people anymore. She hung up. Obiora stared at his phone. His hands were sweating. She had called him. She knew he was here. She was in control. Everything had changed. The next day, Obiora arrived at the National Mosque Gardens at 2:45 p.m. He wore sunglasses and a simple shirt. No designer labels. No bodyguards. He waited on a bench beneath a flame tree. Couples strolled past. Children played near the fountain. Life moved around him while he sat frozen in time. At exactly 3 p.m., she appeared. Amara walked toward him wearing a white flowing dress, her natural hair in an elegant twist. She looked different, older, stronger, more beautiful than he remembered. She sat down beside him without a word. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Obiora broke the silence. You look incredible. I know. Her bluntness stung, but he deserved it. I saw the interview, he continued. What you've built, Amara, it's extraordinary. Thank you. Her voice was polite. Distant, he turned to face her. I need to apologize. No. She held up a hand. You don't get to apologize and feel better. That's not why I agreed to meet you. Then why did you? She looked at him directly for the first time. Her eyes were hard. Because I wanted you to see what you threw away. The words hit like a slap. I wanted you to know, she continued, that everything you said to me that night, that I was worthless, that I'd never survive without you, that I was ruining your life, all of it was a lie. And I spent 10 years proving it. Obiora's throat tightened. Amara, I was wrong. I was cruel. I was a coward. She finished the sentence. You were a coward who chose his reputation over his family. He nodded slowly. Yes, I was. She stood. Good. Now that we've established that, let me be clear. You don't get to walk back into my life and play the repentant husband. I don't need you. I don't want you. And neither does my son. Our son, Obiora said quietly. Amara's jaw tightened. No, he's my son. You gave up that right when you kicked me out. I want to meet him. No. Amara, please. She stepped closer, voice low and fierce. You don't get to decide anymore, Obiora. You don't get to show up after 10 years and demand access to the child you rejected. He doesn't even know your name. And that's how it's going to stay. She turned to walk away. I'm dying. The words escaped before he could stop them. Amara froze. She turned slowly. What? Obiora looked up at her, eyes glistening. Stage 3 liver disease. The doctors give me 2 years. Maybe less. Her face remained unreadable. And you thought telling me that would change things? I thought. He stood. I thought you deserved to know. And I thought Maybe before I die, I could at least meet my son. Just once. Amara stared at him for a long, cold moment. Then she did something he didn't expect. She laughed. A bitter, sharp laugh. You're unbelievable. Even now, on your deathbed, you're trying to manipulate me. I'm not. Yes, you are. Her eyes blazed. You think playing the dying card will make me forget? Will make me forgive? No. You just want redemption. You want to die feeling like you weren't a monster. But I won't give you that. You don't deserve peace. She walked away. This time, she didn't look back. Obiora stood alone beneath the flame tree, watching her disappear into the crowd. He had lost her. Again. And this time it was final. But what he didn't know, what Amara hadn't told him, was that she had lied too, because Chinita didn't know about his father, and he had been begging to meet him for years. Obiora returned to his hotel suite and collapsed onto the couch. His chest ached, not from the disease, but from something deeper. He had seen Amara, touch the same air she breathed, and she had looked at him with nothing but contempt. He deserved it, every bit of it. His phone rang. His younger brother, Ikenna. Obi, I saw the CNN interview. That was her, wasn't it? Your ex-wife. Yes. Jesus. She looks successful. She is. A pause. Are you going to try to see her? I already did. She wants nothing to do with me. Ikenna sighed. Can you blame her? No. He couldn't. That night, Obiora couldn't sleep. He lay in the dark hotel room, memories flooding back. Memories he had buried for 10 years. Flashback. 10 years ago. Lekki Phase 1, Lagos. A sprawling white mansion with marble floors and a view of the ocean. Obiora's empire was just beginning. He was 32, hungry, ruthless. Amara was 26. A nurse. Kind. Hopeful. In love. They had met at a charity gala. She was volunteering at the medical tent. He was a guest speaker. She smiled at him, and he was hooked. They married 6 months later. A quiet ceremony. She didn't care about the money. She cared about him. For a year, it was good. She supported him, encouraged him, believed in him. But then the business started growing faster than he could control. Investors wanted more. Competitors circled. The pressure mounted. And Amara got pregnant. He didn't want a child. Not yet. Not when he was so close to the next level. We can wait, he told her. I'm already pregnant, Obi. Then handle it. She stared at him, shocked. Handle it? You mean? I mean we're not ready. I'm not ready. She shook her head. I'm keeping the baby. That was the beginning of the end. He grew cold, distant. He blamed her for trapping him, for ruining his focus. 7 months into her pregnancy, he came home late one night after a failed investor meeting. He had lost millions. His temper was a live wire. Amara was in the kitchen making tea. Her belly was swollen, movement slow. We need to talk, he said coldly. She turned, hopeful. About the baby's room? I found. About you leaving. Her smile died. What? I want a divorce. I want you out of this house. She gripped the counter. Obi, I'm 7 months pregnant. Not my problem. Her eyes filled with tears. What are you saying? He stepped closer, voice venomous. I'm saying you trapped me. You ruined my life. You're worthless, Amara. Without me, you're nothing. And I won't let you drag me down. She was crying now. Please, don't do this. Pack your things. Be gone by morning. He walked to the bedroom and locked the door. In the morning, she was gone. No note, no fight, just gone. He told himself he felt relief. Told himself he had made the right choice. But at night, in the silence of that big empty house, he heard her voice. Please, don't do this. He ignored it. He buried himself in work. And within 5 years, Namdi Global was the biggest logistics company in West Africa. But success tasted like ash. Back to the present. Obiora opened his eyes, staring at the ceiling. He had built everything, and lost everything that mattered. He picked up his phone and opened a browser. He searched for more information about Amara. Article after article praised her. She had started with nothing, a street vendor selling herbal medicine in Oshodi. She studied at night, earned scholarships, fought her way through medical school. After becoming a doctor, she noticed gaps in rural healthcare access. So she built an app, then a platform, then an entire AI diagnostic system. She had revolutionized healthcare across Africa, and she had done it while raising a son alone. Obiora scrolled to a video interview from 2 years ago. The host asked, "What kept you going during the hardest times?" Amara's answer was simple. "My son, he needed me to be strong, so I became strong." Obiora closed the video. His vision blurred. She had survived, thrived, without him, despite him. And their son, Chinedu, didn't even know his father's name. Obiora made a decision. He couldn't change the past. But maybe, just maybe, he could offer something for the future. The next morning, he called his lawyer. "I want to set up a trust fund. $50 million. Beneficiary, Chinedu Obi, son of Dr. Amara Obi." The lawyer hesitated. "Sir, are you sure?" "Do it. Anonymous. She doesn't need to know it's from me." Understood. It wasn't redemption. It wasn't forgiveness. But it was something. That afternoon, Obiora attended the presidential award ceremony. He sat in the back, wearing a hat and sunglasses, watching from the shadows. Amara walked onto the stage in a stunning gold gown. The crowd stood and applauded. The president himself handed her the award. She gave a speech. Graceful, inspiring, powerful. To every woman who has been told she is not enough, you are. To every single mother fighting alone, you are not alone. To every dreamer dismissed by the world, keep dreaming. Your vindication is coming. The crowd erupted in applause. Obiora's chest tightened. She was talking about herself, about what he had done to her. As the ceremony ended, people swarmed Amara for photos and congratulations. Obiora slipped out before anyone noticed him. But as he walked toward the exit, a small voice stopped him. "Excuse me, sir." He turned. A young boy stood there, 9 years old, sharp eyes, confident posture. Chinedu. Obiora's heart nearly stopped. "Yes," he managed. "You dropped this." Chinedu held out a wallet. Obiora looked down. It wasn't his wallet, but he took it anyway, hands trembling. "Thank you." Chinedu smiled. "You're welcome." Then he tilted his head. "Do I know you? You look familiar." Obiora's throat went dry. "No, I don't think so." Chinedu shrugged. "Maybe I saw you on TV or something." He waved and ran back toward the crowd, calling out, "Mama." Obiora stood frozen, watching his son disappear into the sea of people. He had just spoken to his son, and his son didn't know him. The realization gutted him. He walked outside into the Abuja heat and sat on a bench, head in his hands. A voice spoke beside him. "You shouldn't have come." He looked up. Amara stood there, arms crossed. "I had to," he said quietly. "Why?" "To torture yourself. To see you. To see him." She sat down, keeping distance between them. "He's a good boy. Smart. Kind. Everything you're not." Obiora nodded. "He has your strength." "Yes, he does." They sat in silence. Then Amara spoke again, softer this time. "You really are dying?" "Yes." She looked away. "I don't feel sorry for you." "I know." Another long silence. "Does he ask about me?" Obiora finally asked. Amara hesitated. Then, slowly, she nodded. "Every year on his birthday, he asks who his father is, where you are, why you left. What do you tell him?" "I tell him the truth, that his father wasn't ready to be a father, that it wasn't his fault, that he is loved, even if only by me." Obiora's voice broke. "I want to meet him, properly, not as a stranger." Amara stood. "I'll think about it." Amara. She walked away without another word. But this time, Obiora felt something he hadn't felt before. A crack. A possibility. Maybe, just maybe, redemption wasn't completely out of reach. 1 week later, Obiora's phone rang. Unknown number. Hello. It's me. Amara's voice. Chinita wants to meet you. Obiora sat up straight. What? I told him the truth. That you're his father. That you're in Nigeria. He has questions. I'll answer anything. This isn't for you, Obiora. This is for him. Don't forget that. I understand. Saturday, 4 p.m. Jobby Lake Mall. Food court. Don't be late. She